Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mr. Phil Sings, and I am your host, Mr. Phil. So it's been a little over a week since I started this channel, and let me tell you guys, I am absolutely excited. I'm so thankful for the support that I have received from many of you so far. So I thank you, thank you, thank you. There are a lot of great things coming up. A lot of ideas are brewing right now. So stay tuned, because as soon as those updates are ready, just you wait. This is only the very beginning. So today is my very first segment of Ask Mr. Phil. I received a lot of wonderful questions related to singing. Some of these questions were so good, they are going to be featured in future videos. So if I don't answer your questions today, no weeping, don't fret it, don't sweat it, because they will be answered shortly. So today I'm going to answer two wonderful questions. So let's get right to it. So question number one comes from Becky. So let me get my handy notebook here. And question number one is, what does singing through your nose mean? How can I fix it? So when it comes to singing through your nose, what this tells me is that there's a little bit of gripping and pinching going on in order to make your sound. And this is often a big mistake when a lot of people first learn to sing, is the sound ends up coming right through here. And in order to make that happen, this ends up gripping. And remember, when we learn how to sing, our goal is to keep our throat like an empty hallway. So that way the sound goes up and out to your audience much easier. So we're going to learn a quick hack to make this sound easy. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to plug your nose. So what this does is this creates a physical reminder of, all right, where is my sound going, and do I have that empty hallway feeling? So I'm going to sing on a blah just to demonstrate a little bit. So I'm going to plug my nose and I'm going to sing blah blah blah. So what happens here is this reminds me to keep everything open and to make sure the sound stays more in the goggles, I like to call them, rather than going into your nose. So now I'm going to show you what happens when you plug your nose and when you feel everything vibrating. The sound's going to be a little bit different. So it's going to go like this. So I'm still making sound, but there's a little bit of pinching going on in my throat. Doesn't really feel all that comfortable. And then my nose ends up vibrating like crazy. So what you want to go for is always keeping the sound here in your goggles. So it's as easy as plugging your nose. And then another way to help with this empty hallway feeling also when you learn to sing is, of course, using your breath. Of course, things like using your diaphragm and then using your ribs, or riblets, as I like to call them. That's another really good way to help get rid of that nasal quality in your singing. And I'll post a link to my first breathing video below, and in future videos, stay posted, because I will talk about learning how to keep your body engaged to help keep everything open. So that was a really good first question. So now, let's go on to question number two. This question comes from one of my dear friends, Tracy. So she submitted this. I always struggled with getting power behind my singing voice while maintaining tone quality, and always wondered what I could have done to become a more powerful singer. Any tips? Now, Miss Tracy, this is a very loaded question. There are countless ways to learn how to get more power in your singing. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about two quick ways to start to build strength and power in your voice. Now, the first one is all about your breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick little way to teach yourself to use your ribs, or your riblets, as I like to call them. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our hand and we're going to put it on our ribs. It's a lot like a teapot, so I call it teapot pose. So what we're going to do, when you breathe, you want to feel your ribs pushing your hand out. So I'll just demonstrate again just so you can see. So I have my hand on my riblets and I breathe, and they want to go this way. So this is a really good way to start to create more energy and using your body more. So I'm going to sing on a blah just so you can see how this goes. So I'm going to breathe in my riblets. Blah, blah, blah. And your goal is when you sing, it could be a blah, it could be songs, it could be exercises. You want to keep your ribs in the same position the whole entire time. And that takes time, and that takes some practice. So just be on the lookout for some future videos on learning how to use your ribs and exercises to engage your body much more. Now the second way that we can learn how to build more power all starts here in your vocal cords. So your vocal cords are a lot like a microphone. So what we have to do is we have to teach them to stay closed and to stay together. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard singers that have that breathy tone quality, or even maybe in your own singing, like when you breathe, like say you're going, so what happens here is your vocal cords, they're not hanging out, they're not friends on Facebook, they're not following each other on Instagram. So what happens is that breathy sound doesn't really give you a lot of power behind your voice. So what we want to do is we want them to always be, boom, together. Always following each other on all different forms of social media, yes? So what we're going to do, we're going to do some quick exercises to teach them to stay together. So you could take a 5-note scale and we can go down the stairs on the word blah. So it's going to be quick pulses to teach them to work together. So it would look a little bit like this. So we would go blah, So you want to feel these quick pulses, and they come from your riblets, from the body. So I'll show you one more time just so you see that. Blah, So doing that and combining the riblets will help you create much more power behind your voice. It's definitely something that's really fun to explore and to see how powerful the voice can truly become. So that was a wonderful, wonderful question. So that's all I have for this segment of Ask Mr. Phil. So please stay tuned for a lot of new updates coming up, new content, and of course be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. So that's all I have. So have a good one, guys, and I will see you very soon.